Bling versus Grubby, game 2 coming up. It's going to be on Antigua.
Yeah, it's kind of funny you bring this up actually, because the first tournament that Mr. Bitter ever casted in Germany was with GameStone. Yeah, it was the first tournament he casted in Germany. And he's like, hey guys, if you're in the Germany area, make sure to drop by. And all the Europeans started laughing, and he was like, oh, Germany's really big, man. But actually Texas is like twice as big as Germany, so
it's huge.
There is no such thing as the Texas area, I guess.
No, there's not. There's the Austin area. We can do that, or North Texas area. But I'll go ahead and introduce the players here in the top left-hand location. We have the blue Protoss player, Grubby, and his opponent in the bottom right-hand side. It's the red Protoss player, Bling from Team Dignitas. And Grubby up 1-0. I'm excited, man.
I'm really excited. This is actually a really good map for those Twilight builds in general, much better than Daybreak, because if we take a look at the edges of this base, there's just so much surface area. We saw White Rod doing it actually against Noni, doing it also well. Every time Noni walked down this ramp, White Rod blinked in the back of his base. If you do not have Blink, it's super annoying to deal with. You're really going to have to at least leave an Immortal and a couple of Zealots, but preferable even 2 Immortals. So we'll see. Grubby is one of those Protoss players who lost Blink stocks as well. We might see him do his 3-gate pressure build once more though. This is something he did many times on Antigua, and it can definitely work out. But I do feel if Blink just takes or pays a little bit more attention to his ramp, doesn't allow that probe to go up, it's going to be a lot easier. Because then one time you might be forced to pull probes, but the moment you scare the Protoss out of your base, he's not going to walk up anymore. Because then these 4 or 5 stalkers here, they're going to get a big volley out for free, because obviously Grubby doesn't have high ground vision, so it's going to be harder if Blink just pays more attention to his ramp.
Yeah, that's the key point there, but Blink just has to pay attention. Don't let those probes get up into your main base and start building those pylons everywhere, because that's no fun at all to deal with, again, losing that defender's advantage. And honestly, he got his gates relatively late in the last game. Like, his warp gate was at like 70%, and then he started his gateway. So a little bit late in that regard. Maybe if you'd gotten those a little bit earlier, you could have gotten units a little bit faster. But that's all just theory crafting at this point. Right now, that looks like pretty standard play from both of these players, unless I'm completely missing a proxy fleet beacon on the map somewhere, which of course isn't possible. But you know,
it is, man. It is. It's Grubby. Grubby makes the impossible possible.
That is so true. And this is a map where, again, I talked about a little bit last game. There's only one ramp leading to that natural expansion. So you know, you're more inclined to see those expansion builds that they're a little bit more you know, easy to do. Again, forced cross positions means that the rush distance is going to be very far, but again, that can be mitigated by those forward pylons. So of course you have to pay attention to any stray probes come to your side of the map, making sure you eliminate those. But right now it looks like both these players taking their second gas. Looks like they're both going to be teching up fairly quickly, unless they're just playing mind games.
Both of them saved up a lot of energy. Obviously, they keep that probe around as long as possible, wants to make sure that they know what their opponent is chrono boosting. Bling goes for the double chrono boost straight away, which is kind of standard, and Grubby will probably end up doing the exact same thing, even though he's not chrono boosting his gateway yet.
Yeah, only deviation here thus far. Bling going to be not getting the Zealot, unless, again, it's hidden somewhere on the map. I do not see a Zealot on the field for Bling, so just getting that Stalker first off. His opponent, however, Grubby, going with that early Zealot, going to get 2 Stalkers behind that, it looks like. Might go for some, you know, pseudo-early aggression. Again, he did that last time a little, brought the Zealot forward and 2 Stalkers to try to do a little bit of damage and try to scare his opponent a little. Of course, following that up with a 3-gate aggression. We'll have to see if he does that again, but right now, Bling, what are you up to, man? What are you up to? Both these players, there we go. Twilight Council. Is this a DT rush?
No, it's most likely just a standard Bling opening. He really loves to get Bling Stalkers as quick as possible. Yeah, it is a really quick console, but I guess he has faith that Grubby is not going for 4-gate. And there are some Protoss who even believe that you can stop for Feast, for instance. Feast always says that he can get sentries out in time with 1-gate Twilight console, even if he plays against 4-gate. Bling just loves Bling Stalkers, certainly in Antigua.
Yeah,
so
no, I agree with you.
I would be very surprised if he goes for a DT opening.
Yeah, the gas is getting up there, man. He's getting to 250 gas. This is going to be interesting. What is he doing? Uh-oh.
You might be right.
There it is.
Wow. Bling going for Dark Templars. Grubby actually.
What Grubby has on the way.
Yeah, Grubby is going for. Grubby went for 1-gate Robo. Of course, this still doesn't mean necessarily that Grubby's not going to take any damage at all. He's going to rally his first observer across the map. If Bling somehow gets a pylon off in a really good spot, I'm surprised Bling doesn't have his scouting probe on the map ananymore. That's so crucial when you open DTs.
You're absolutely right. Of course, having a pylon close to your opponent, you can warp in those DTs that much closer, get them into your opponent's mineral line that much sooner. Two Stalkers coming forward as well from Bling. And the Observer's on the way. Second Observer, no, it's going to be an Immortal. This could be pretty bad. If the Observer is stuck as an opponent's base and the DTs get in, he has an Immortal out.
Exactly, that was exactly where I was going at. So despite opening Robo, it doesn't necessarily mean you're not going to take any damage.
Yeah.
But still, if Grubby pays attention to his ramp, he can always force field it. He does have that one sentry. Bling, you're going to have to be so careful with that probe. He's going to run it straight into the Stalker of Grubby. Now he's going to drop 2 pilots over here. And this might actually already trigger a reaction at Grubby. Like, that's very, very strange.
Yeah, the question is, does he know this is DTs because of these pylons, or does he think it's like a big gateway push? No Observer being made out of that. Oh, he's supply blocks. He's at 42 out of 42. One pylon not done yet. Immortal can't get taken out, and he's going to cancel that anyway to make an Observer because DT is about to be warped in from Bling here. 2 being warped in, rallied immediately to his opponent's natural expansion, but force field at the bottom of the ramp for Grubby. Yeah. He's prepared for this.
Grubby not even waiting until he sees something flurry on the map. He's just going to force it straight away. There comes the second force field.
Wow.
He warps in 2 more sentries. Grubby is absolutely safe right now. Wow. And this is not horrible for Blink, but obviously it's pretty damn bad because going DTs is a really big investment.
Yeah.
And he's not going to be able to do anything with them, at least not now.
Yeah, I mean, there are transitions out of it, but again, you're investing so much in those early Dark Templars not doing any damage, not too fun at all. I mean, at least you get a couple, like, probe kills or something, but, you know, he does keep the Dark Templars alive. Again, they could be made into an Archon. You know, he has that Twilight Council. He could be research Charge or something. There we go. He is in fact researching Charge. Not a bad decision at all, and he can kind of mold his way into an Archon Charge-like composition.
I think it's a very good decision. Then again, Grubby already has 3 sentries, and sentries are pretty much the answer against charge lots. If Grubby is going for a 1-base push.
Archons, dude. Smash those force fields.
True, but still, he's going to need more than 1 Archon, and that's going to be kind of tricky to afford. We'll see. Grubby already has those 2 Zealots right now. I think Grubby also saw the Nexus. Yes, he did. Grubby is so well aware of everything that has been going on in this game so far.
He needs to Chrono Boost the heck out of that charge right now because Grubby's on the way, and he's not stopping. Of course, Bling trying to get into a good position here.
Wow, Army supply 36 for Grubby right now, only 24 for Bling. That spells disaster.
Force field going down, trapping in 3 Stalkers.
Wow,
not
nice
bad at all.
fields.
We should pull back here, but 4 Zealots being warped in. Where do they come from? There is a pylon in the back of Bling's base, warping in more warping in units here, and Bling caught off guard from the back, having to defend 2 fronts here.
Yeah, but still, so far, Bling's doing a really good job, much better than I thought he was going to do. Grubby's losing a lot of units. He does still have that also powerful Immortal, but so far, Bling did a really, really good job, but now there are 2 Immortals, and it's going to get really, really tricky.
Charge is done. Immortal's not the best at all against Archons. Needs to warp in as many Zealots as he can, backing up to his natural expansion Nexus. If he can hold this off, he's fine. Breaks that force field, LOL. And Grubby's still, you know, trying to do some aggression here. Bling pulling all of his probes here to try to tank some of that damage. That's exactly what he has to do. 2 more Stalkers being warped in by Grubby here. Does Bling have enough to hold this off?
He just doesn't have that much DPS right now. More Zealots coming in. That's exactly what he needs. He's losing a lot of probes. But if he can kill all these units of Grubby, which I think he will be able to do, then it might not actually be all that bad. Wow.
He's going to do it.
Sick defense by Bling. Really, really crazy defense.
That is
so impressive. And if we take a look at the harvest account right now, it's only 27 probes for Grubby as well. And Bling is on double Nexus. That's so insane.
Oh my god. And of course he has charge. He has a nice tech advantage behind this. Grubby didn't go for that robotics base, so not going to have Colossi out. Does have a Twilight Council on the field. Does he go for DTs of his own? I don't think he has the economy to. This is pretty bad for Grubby.
He has that robotics facility still, and he's gonna have Blink Stalkers right now. But you have to be so careful with Blink Stalkers when you know charge is on the map. I really think one mistake that Grubby made, I mean, those 3 force fields by Blink, they were perfect, absolutely brilliant. But I think Grubby revealed those units too early on. I think he should have waited till the force fields expire and then tried to set up that sandwich. Meanwhile, we have 4 Chartle. That's a little bit overeager. Blink. Where are the reinforcements?
Oh, and the Stalker's blinking forward, trying to catch him off guard. Guardian Shield immediately popped by Blink. Coming forward with the Archon as well. 2 Zealots stuck in the back a little bit. Force field going down. Just going to cancel the pylon and retreat, but Grubby going to pursue. If he can take out this Archon, that would be huge for him. When does Blink decide to turn around and engage us perhaps at the top of the ramp? Yes, it's exactly what he's going to do. Nice force field, but these Stalkers do have Blink. Blinking back the weakened ones. Nice micro there from Grubby. And Bling, I don't think he's going to make it home.
No, he's going to lose a lot of these units, and that's really saddening for Bling actually, because he had no idea what a great shape he was actually in. He, of course, doesn't know what we know. He didn't know that Grubby was still on 1 base. Bling is going to end up losing most of these units. Really, really nice control by Grubby as well. But I think still Bling will be fine in the long run.
Yeah, and Grubby just putting himself back in this game, taking an expansion behind this. Bling doesn't have all that much to defend here. I mean, those charge lots are going to be instrumental. Sentries won't do much at all. They're out of energy. And Bling is going to engage. Might have to pull some probes. 3 Zealots being warped in. That's good. That's a good thing for sure. But Grubby does have that Blink research. Might just end up backing away.
Yeah, that was actually a really scary moment for Blink, because you might just end up in this moment where the Blink Stalkers can actually just stay there and do as much damage as they possibly want. The bad thing for Grubby, Grubby's splitting up his units right now.
Yeah, he has that Observer on the high ground, able to blink up, and then of course he can blink back down. Of course, staying in the smoke for now.
Nice blink. So well played by Grubby.
Bling trying to return back from his natural expansion with his charge loss. But Grubby can just blink out of here easy.
Oh, what is Blink doing? He's kind of miscontrolling his units right now. It seems like he has all his units in one group.
There's Stalkers in his natural expansion has to worry about as well, taking out some probes. And Grubby multitasking like a champ here. Charge loss coming forward from Blink, trying to take out these Stalkers, but they can just blink away, no big deal at all.
Grubby is doing this so exceptionally well right now.
Wow, that's a lot of Stalkers on the field, warping in more and more. Bling, you know, he's not able to handle it just yet.
The good thing for Blink is now that he almost has Blink now as well, and Grubby's not aware of this, so we might actually see Grubby going for a Blink, where he's going to end up losing a lot of Stalkers. Blink is ready right now. Is he going to reveal it that he has Blink straight away?
No, he hasn't blocked yet. I don't know the word for that, but it looks like...
But he will be able to catch a lot of Grubby's units right now.
Oh no, they're stuck on the ledge! Okay, they blinked away.
He just doesn't want to reveal it yet. He wants to get even more.
Alright, income tab shows 37 to 35. Grubby has his natural.
And Grubby has been doing a really good job in the previous 2-3 minutes. That's ridiculous.
This is fantastic play from Grubby here.
But now,
oh my god.
Blink showing that he has Blink now as well, going for a defensive Blink. Now going for the offensive Blink. Picks up 1 Stalker.
Oh,
and that's about it.
I almost... Could he have pursued there? How many Stalkers are there from Grubby?
He could, but Grubby has Blink as well, so it's just going to be Blink, 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 Blink.
That's always fun to watch.
It is, man.
But yeah, these players are pretty even, man. After all that happens, the 15-minute mark, we're in a pretty standard state. Pretty even supply marks.
It's crazy. This game is really crazy. It's been going back and forth so much. First it looked really good for Grubby, then it looked fantastic for Blink, but Blink didn't know that Grubby didn't have a Nexus like we knew, because obviously Blink never played Robo in this game, so he couldn't have possibly known that Grubby was pretty much all in, you could say, because he really was. That looked so bad. 27 workers against 32, 1 base against 2. But then Blink ended up losing a lot of units by not being able to get those pylons up.
And Bling is just now getting his Robo. Stalker's coming forward from Grubby, trying to engage his army from Bling, but he does not have enough, so he's just going to blink right back up his ramp. Has 2 Immortals at the top there, so Bling would be crazy if he tried to engage that.
Bling has been getting aggressive on the wrong moments in this game.
Yeah, that's true. Like, he's overextending quite a bit again. Lost all those units in the middle of the map a little bit earlier. And this is an interesting game, man. I'm wondering what both these players' game plans are. It looks like Grubby getting the High Templar Archives, so not going for Colossus.
Perhaps he feels that it would just take too long to get Colossus right now. Grubby has to be careful. So many of his Stalkers are really low in HP. But Bling, if he would get aggressive, I think he's making a big mistake. I guess the reason why Bling wants to attack is because he knows that he has charge and Grubby doesn't have charge. And charge can be crucial, but if he's gonna have to attack up in the ramp, and now Grubby's actually moving out, that would not be the right thing to do either, Grubby.
Not at all. And Bling does have that income tab, 51 to 42, the Harvester lead for Bling. Now blinking forward, trying to catch the Stalkers off guard. Immortals coming forward from Grubby. High Templars finally being morphed into Archons. I thought they were going to try to feed back the sentries here, which would have been cute, but that's not going to end up happening. And you know, I feel like oh my god, I don't know who has a better composition here.
It depends a lot on where they fight, I think.
Yeah.
I think position is going to be everything. Obviously, if Grubby is going to sit over here, then those Chargers will have the time of their life swarming that army. But if they're going to fight up this hill, I'm not sure if Charge is going to be all that effective.
Yeah, and I'm wondering when Bling is going to try to expand behind this. Obviously, he has to feel safe, but he might just go for it here. And I'm not sure about this decision. Of course, having the charge. Oh, putting the Guardian's Shield down. The Force Fields could go down, but the Archons would squash those Stalkers blinking forward. Targeting down the Immortals, the Blink Stalkers blinking from Grubby as well, trying to counteract that move. It's so close to the call here. Archon's doing a lot of damage. Charge Lot's getting a lot of damage off as well. The supply is still pretty darn close to each other.
Yeah, but so far so good for Grubby. He is having Bling on the back foot right now. Bling is going to wipe in a lot of Zealots. Grubby has to be careful. Those Zealots could be really, really scary right now. Those Immortals are way out of position. Oh, I think Grubby went a bit too aggressive right there.
Oh, this is so close. Charge Lot's doing what they have to do. Targeting down those Immortals. Grubby backing up his ramp. That defender's advantage is so important. And Bling is running out of units here. Can't overextend. Just going back and forth.
Yeah, this is ridiculous. Bling is on 6 gates though. I'm really surprised that Grubby went out there so much. He should have known it was so scary to go out against Charge Lots. because on the moment it looked actually really good for Grubby. As long as he keeps those oh so expensive Immortals alive, he's going to be fine in the long run, because whenever a Protoss player plays the style that Bling does right now, he doesn't have any backup plan. He's not planning to take a turret base during all this. He wants to win right now. Bling actually whopping in a couple of DTs. He's just going to morph him into Archon straight away. Grubby's going to do the exact same thing though.
Look at the supply right now. Bling up 105 to 90. And making 3 more Archons. Gonna make a 4th pretty quickly here, morphing in 2 more Dark Templars. Let's look at the upgrades really quick. 1 weapons for Bling, and 1 weapons for Grubby. So even in that regard, Grubby trying to make the best of this Bling Stalker micro. Doesn't end up taking down that Archon down to, I think all his shields are gone.
Oh, he wants it so badly. It only 2 shots and he does pick it up.
He does lose it, but losing 2 Stalkers in the process. Maybe close to 3. And Bling's just gonna go up the ramp here, leading with the charge loss. It's what he has to do. Archon's close behind. Stalker's in there as well, blinking to the left side, targeting down the Stalkers. Great move there from Bling, and I think he might take it here.
This looks really good for Bling right now. That Immortal way out of position as well. Bling, so many Zealots still alive. Stalker's dealing a ton of damage as well. Grubby is forced to pull pros, but I don't think it's going to matter all that much. GG. That was a crazy PvP, back and forth.
That was insane.
Both players made a couple of really big mistakes, but nevertheless it was a very entertaining game.
It was, and it's like, again, you think about PvP on this map and you think about the natural expansion and how there's a ramp leading up to it. Bling just doesn't care. He's like, I'm going to engage at this ramp. I don't care how many units you have. Of course, positioning is very important in this matchup. And Bling going up high ground, being the aggressor, that was a great match. What do you think the turning point was? If there was one, it seems like it's so
I think we had 3 turning points.
I know.
Because I mean, the first turning point was obviously Grubby having an excellent scout, dropping that force field, not taking a single bit of damage from those DTs. That was brilliant.
Yeah, that was.
Then he went for that attack, and despite it not working out, I'm not going to say that I think it was a bad attack, because I think it made perfect sense. Normally that would work. Yeah. But those force fields, the original force fields from Bling, were very good, and I think Grubby made a mistake there, bringing in the units that he kind of set up as a sandwich with that warp-in pylon. I think he brought them in too early, because now Bling was basically fighting with his entire army, which was much smaller than Grubby's army, but he was just fighting against a very small portion of Grubby's army. And I guess that was the whole reason why he somehow managed to defend his natural, because that was an insane hold by Bling. Really impressive.
I know that hidden pylon, like I didn't see it. Like the units come out of nowhere. I'm like, were they warped in from the sky or something? But no, there was a pylon there behind Grubby's mineral, or behind Bling's mineral line. I thought he was done there. When you can get that hidden pylon there in your opponent's base in PvP, that's huge. Any matchup really, and then able to get that concave, that surround on the units. But again, Bling just too strong with those Archons and Zealots, and then pulling those probes, getting that surround on that entire army from Grubby. That was huge. If he keeps those units alive, like, he's fine. But again, Bling just too good for that.
Grubby also, meanwhile, something is going wrong. Over here in the studio, hopefully nothing is broken.
We're trying to fix the camera here.
Grubby did some excellent multitasking as well. I think that was super impressive. The moment Grubby was behind, it looked really grim for him. The only thing he had was able to work with was a couple of Blink Stalkers. But as we mentioned in the game as well, it's so scary to move out with Blink Stalkers when you know your opponent has charge. Because if somehow there are too many Zealots to handle, you're going to end up losing a lot of Stalkers. You can blink away, but those Zealots, they will catch up. They are faster, and also with charge, they're always able to catch up. But Grubby, his multitasking was ridiculous. Attacking the expand, of course. I always look at it from 2 sides, like what could have Bling done better. He definitely could have done it a little bit better, but in the end, it's really hard for Bling to actually kill a unit, because Grubby is in a position that he's able to save units. Bling is not. The only thing he could do is just send in units, hoping that his opponent screws up, but Grubby didn't screw up, and that was super impressive by Grubby.
And Bling has to be so careful when defending the Blink Stalker stuff, because if you send too few units to one location, you're in a lot of trouble. So great moves there from Bling, but again, as you said it, man, Grubby with that multitasking with those Blink Stalkers, attacking into the natural expansion mineral line, attacking in the main base, blinking up via the observer. But again, Bling able to hold it down, and able to counter, and just there's so much to talk about that game.
Yeah, exactly, because it was so back and forth. One moment it looked really good for Grubby, then it suddenly looked really good for Bling. Then Bling went for that attack, and he gave Grubby a small chance to get back into that game, and then Grubby really grabbed that chance with both hands and almost equaled things up. Then Bling went again for an aggressive move, which I wasn't sure, and then I also think it didn't work out at first. But then Grubby chased a bit too much again, losing those 2 Immortals.
Trying to take out that Archon, he lost like 3 Stalkers as well.
Yeah, that as well. That was a bit later, but
and those 2 Immortals.
God.
God.
Crazy.
Just so many little things could have changed that in that game, and it would have been completely different.
And there you just see in PvP, you can really never ever attack without a warp in pylon close by.
Yes, that's
I mean, the
absolutely
only reason why Blink somehow turned that fight around was those 6 charge lots storming in,
Yeah.
and then Grubby's like, okay, I'll go for defensive Blink. Oh wait, there are still 2 immortals there. Like, what am I gonna do with those
You
guys?
can't blink those back. There's
That
no,
would be
there's
good,
no
though.
upgrade for that, though.
Come on, Rob Simpson, are you?
Coming in patch 1.5 on the Robotics Bay.
Oh,
Blink
God.
for Immortals, it'll cost 300 at 300.
I think Idra would love that.
I'm actually joining the balance team for Blizzard.
Rob Simpson, are you watching?